All right, so I pulled out a few cards just for comparison purposes of the slabs. People may want to see what they look like in strength-wise and how they look in comparison to the other slabs on the market. And I have examples of all of them except for HTA. I'll have that soon on my next video. First, I'll start with the the really popular one, which is the PSA case. Solid case, as you can see here on the Korea. But anyhow, there's PSA 10 of the top's chrome, really tough card to get, hard one to find. It's kind of like a shorter print. GMA 10, I didn't even think I paid $100 for this card. It was really cheap. Anyways, PSA case, I mean, I can hear it cracking as I'm trying to bend it there. The glue, I'm not a big fan of the frosted 1980s style outline there. Doesn't seem like they really changed their cases or style for since they started, really just plain back there. Nothing really too special. People have complained about the CSG cases, oh, the green and black and type. Well, I don't know what's so much better about this. It's black with a red border is what's so great about that. All they've changed over the years is maybe perhaps like some of the print and the thickness of that border. They've changed their little logo a few times. The case itself is like quite flimsy, quite cheap almost, If I put some pressure into this, I feel like I can snap it. I might crack my hand. I bust my hands open, but I mean, even when you put it down, it doesn't even sound that great. In comparison to like the SCG, it sounds the same, but you can see much more clear, looks way better in the case, I think, than the PSA. The label is easier to read, has a lot of important information, all the information you need. And I like how that grade is really nice and bold. I think collectors will like that. They like to see that big 9.5 really nicely. In terms of thickness, CSG is a little thicker, maybe slightly larger. Yeah, just slightly larger than the PSA. Basically the same size, but actually it looks like they kind of lock together too on those. Stack okay together. But I still think this is better. You can't hear any snapping. I can't bend this. It's much more clear. It's almost like looking through glass, like a window glass. I'm not sure. Maybe they're using acrylic, like a high-end acrylic. I didn't look that up. I think they are. It sounds different on the sides there too. Much more clear. You can see how it's all locked in on the side as well. I don't know if these little arrows represent opportunities to crack the case open if you need to, or if that's just something that they need to do for their manufacturing. I understand that they worked hard on these cases to get them processed, I think, on site really quickly too. Cuts down the cost. So again, these only took 5 business days to grade. I don't know how long that's going to stay, as people are probably going to start catching on to that. And they're going to get backlog like everyone else. But this is a huge company, so they have tons of graders. Now I'll do a BVG. BGS, sorry. Here's a BGS Corey Seager, Julio Urias, 9.5. Really tough to, I like how the 9.5 is nice. It's clear on there. I like the gold sticker they put on there. But it's tough to see the read all the information. It's really small. Back. I don't like that Beckett puts them in a penny sleeve. I think that looks kind of cheap. So because they kind of float inside the case. Otherwise, they don't Morocco or anything because they're in a penny sleeve. But if it wasn't in a penny sleeve, it would definitely have that Morocco capability. As you can see, there's like gaps in between everywhere. The edges are sharp. The cool thing about these is I think like the outline, it's really square, which is cool in one way because it makes it look like a frame, which is nice, right? Because that's what these are supposed to look like, essentially, right? They're frame cards. But the downside to that, I think, is these corners are really sharp. They're just really bulky. It's super heavy. In comparison, it's at least double the weight, if not 3 times the weight. It's very solid as this one is, and it's clear as well. But no, this is much more clear. The CSG is much more clear. A little bit of yellowing down here you get off of the glue from years, I guess. I don't know, just maybe they're not using acid-free. It's shorter but wider than the CSG, and it's not going to stack. So again, I don't really like this case. I think it's kind of old. They need to improve just the style of it. I mean, it's like quite antique almost. It looks like for this particular card, it's cool because it's like 2016 off of the 72 look. But I mean, for modern cards, I think it's just kind of an antiquated style that they should improve upon. I like the rounded edges of here. I don't feel like I'm going to cut my hands open on any of this. Very smooth for the touch. Sticking with them, we've got BVG, some Willie Mays. Like not much information on the slabs here. We know BVG is not really the greatest of all grading companies. I like that they take into consideration the era of the card. That's why I like BVG, because I do feel that that's pretty important, because people weren't collecting cards the way they do in 1957. So the kids were putting them spokes in their tires. So to be able to find cards from this era, especially a great player like this that isn't all thrashed, I think is pretty nice. Yeah, there's the back. But again, same thing as their previous one. It's the same, same slab, just a different sticker. It's just bulky and heavy and not very nice. Here's SCG. It's not a current SCG, so I think they're almost the same. I don't have any current SCGs anymore. I used to. Maybe the case is a little smaller. It might look a little different. But here's a SCG case. Here it's much larger all the way around. It's larger the bottom, it's larger to the sides. I would say though, like in terms of quality, it's probably the closest to this one out of the ones I've seen so far. Real solid. I can't snap this at all. I can't hear any cracks in the glue. It doesn't have that maraca. One thing that I think SCG has going for them is this black outline. I mean, that's sick. I think that's a really good idea. There's another company that I have several cards of from early in grading that's similar to this, and I think it's called CSA. And they're early, you can find their stuff on eBay for really cheap. They use the royal blue outline, and their cases are more like this, rounded edges. And I think those are really nice ones. You can pick those up quite inexpensive on eBay. And actually, CSA is, if you're getting the really early grading stuff, they're quite accurate with their grading. I think it was on par with PSA at the time. Nothing from the later part of their grading, but their early grading. So their really low numbers are really accurate. And I think they do okay on eBay, the older ones. Lastly, I have this really GM. I mean, you get what you pay for. The case is really ugly. It's like a cheap knockoff of like a PSA case is what it looks like they tried to copy, but they got all this like garbage, like things to hold these like labels in place. And then there's like this stupid circle right here and here on the corners. There's some dumb circle here. It just doesn't really help the cards. Aesthetic look. I mean, it's just not really that great. I understand they're coming out with a new label, which may help the look, but if they're not changing the case, what's the difference? This one is like really flimsy as well. I mean, as I'm pressing it, you can hear the glue cracking. Whoa, see, look at that. I mean, I almost cracked the case just by like touching it, did I? I mean, I didn't even put much pressure in that, and it felt like I like almost cracked the case open completely, which may not be a bad thing, because I could probably get this graded same 9 grade from like HGA or something, or CSG, put it into a different slab. Doesn't look bad in this, that's a nice card, and with the black label, it's cool, but they need to improve their case. And their prices don't go for anything. I mean, it's quite reflective on their prices that they barely go for anything over stock or I'm sorry, over raw. You heard that. I mean, I almost broke the damn case without any pressure. Important to note, if you're looking for resale, CSG is already recognized, so you can sell these on multiple platforms. Star Stock doesn't have it yet, I don't believe, but you can sell it on CompC and definitely on PWCC. Whereas HGA, they're not yet recognized on those platforms, so HGA might be a little bit tough to get rid of at this time. Their prices are going really good, but if you don't want to sell your stuff on eBay, you may have some very limited options. And that was a concern that I had with that. So I think I can sell them to CompC, but I'd have to look into that. That would be my only option. Is I don't sell on eBay, and I'm not going to. I do through the third parties just because I don't want to deal with any of that. I have a full-time job, so I don't have time to, list things and take pictures and all that. It's just not worth it to me. I can pay the same, Star Stock's only 5%. If I'm using PayPal to get my money, it's still only it's under 8%. And then you've got your PWCC at about 15%. That's what you're going to pay on eBay doing it yourself. So I might as well let somebody else do it for me. Same with CompC. So these are going to be off to PWCC, with the exception of the bird and the box. Probably, I'm probably going to try to get those regraded, but everything else will go. My next submission for HGA, I'm trying to get in today, is going to be. I want to try to submit to HGA, Kyler Murray, Prism. Anything that you see on the card is not actually on the card, it's just on the holder. One of these, I'm not sure which one. One of these Bregmans, top chromaties. The pink Rosarena, Bieber. I think he's a good opportunity to get cards. The last I looked, I don't know if it's gone up in the last week or two, but last I looked, they were pretty reasonable and affordable considering he's a younger pitcher and he's done really well in his limited time. As long as he stays injury free, I expect him to have quite a nice career, comparable to Garrett Cole. I don't know, maybe, never know. And I got a Frankie Lindor to send in. I really like the sparkle of that one. I think it's going to look really cool on the HGA holder. And those are going to be my next submission if I can get in, but we'll see. If not, I'm going to do HGA, I think, one more time this week. I got one submission in. If I don't get another submission in, I think I'm just going to stick with CSG. As long as I know I can submit to them. I know they're going to get me my cards back on time, it seems like right now. I might as well take advantage of that. The prices are similar. I think these were $5 more per card. Who cares? I mean, I got them back so quickly. What's the difference? And, I really like their service so far. I can't really complain. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll have more videos to share with you in the future. Have a great day.